Hi, weirdos. It is a very, very rare thing that I actually agree to do any kind of product testing for a company because YouTube is saturated in it and because most of the products that I get offered to product tests are kind of bullshit. So I typically do not do this. There was only one thing that this company said that got me to agree to it. And you all get a big kick out of this part of what the product is. But the name should be familiar to a lot of you, especially van people. And I can see where something like this could be really helpful to other van people, even if it's not my speed. So I'm going to put aside my personal feelings. Maybe my mind will be changed. But we did this really coordinated effort over the past couple weeks to try to figure out where I was going to be because this big box and this huge box needed to get to me on the road, and that has not been a terribly easy task to accomplish. So let us all get out our murder toys and open this up. I think this one is going to be first. No, they are not paying me to do this, so don't get your thong in a knot over that sort of thing. All right. I know that this whole unboxing bullshit is really big for some of y'all. All right, so the name should sound familiar. Some of you own their batteries. You've suggested them. I do not currently own one, but the company name is Jackery. I have no idea what that stands for or means. Maybe there will be a nice DVD inside explaining it to us. The first thing we're going to test is how heavy this is, because the big thing that matters in your van is how much weight you are adding to your ride. I haven't even told you what it is yet. You must be dying in suspense. All right, well, so the specific weight is enough for a tiny Ninja Jinja to lift with kind of one hand. Not terribly light. All right, so do we learn anything from the box? Solve this great mystery. Oh, let me spin this around. There we go. Here we are. Portable power station Jackery. All right, so the big nightmare that you will face in building your van, which we all watch me go through, is how in the hell do you get electricity inside the van? You saw that I hired one electrician who was missing several chromosomes and many, many brain cells, took my money, gave me back something that would probably have killed me or at least shocked me enough that I'd get hurt. The second electrician, Michael, Blue Water Marine and RV, was the patron saint of electricity and has helped me immeasurably, does great work. But, finding someone who's going to wire a van is, like finding a unicorn, because electricians, they typically work in houses and they are familiar with code and design and wiring in houses. To get someone who will wire a van is probably, for the strict majority of you, going to be really difficult. If you live anywhere near Wilmington, I got a guy. If you don't, you're going to go through probably several weeks of having to drive, what I had to do before I found Michael, drive the van over and tell him what you want. But chances are, if this is your first time doing it, you don't know what the hell you want. Like, you just want to be able to plug stuff in and have it work. So without a standard and without this being a common project for an electrician or mechanic, it's a really difficult thing to find. And I can appreciate that. Lord knows I can appreciate that. So with the system that we're going to look at is if you wanted a more plug and play electrical setup, is this something that could help you do that? And from the conversations that I've been having back and forth with Jackery, I do think that if you did not want to go down the road of finding a mechanic or finding an electrician and wiring the whole van, if you just want to get in your van and kind of see what works before you do all that, which is probably a really good idea so you don't go through what I went through, then something like this I can really see the value of. I've not even opened the damn thing, but that is what we're going to kind of talk about, is plug and play, portable power for your van, for your RV. I'll tell you in a second the one sentence she said that got me to commit to this. And then, well, I'm not going to tell you what's in this box yet. But okay, so it says Jackery Power Outdoors 518 watt hour storage, wherever the journey takes you. The model name is the Explorer 500. And all right, let's just open the damn thing. I'm not trying to draw this out all day. The place where I'm doing this is kind of my stand-in dad. You know, I love this guy. His name is Mike. He's a friend of my mom's. And Mike has worked in renewable energy ever since renewable energy was a phrase. And so Mike is all about the wind power and all about the solar power and all about, I mean, these are powered by solar. He's got more solar panels on the outside of his house than he has shingles. And I'm not all about that life. So we'll see again if my mind is changed. Okay, I'm not sure what the hell this is. It's a really nice little purse for your Jackery. All right, 12 volt charger, which if you can charge this while driving out of your cigarette lighter, that is a really nice feature, but we'll see. And then another plug, and see, no money, not getting paid, but this is nice. All right, so we got that, and then I don't know if I can do this with, yes I can. Yes I can. Ugh. All right. Things. All right. Here she is. So this is about the same exact size as one of the marine batteries in my van. I have two 200 amp deep cycle marine batteries. I've also talked about how much I would love a lithium battery, which I am guessing this is because it is, while it's the same size as a deep cycle battery, it is much lighter. Like I would never be able to do this with the batteries in my van. We've got two different types of input to charge it. There are 3 USB cables, which, yeah, I mean, everything gets charged practically with a USB now. And it says pure sine wave, 110 volt, 500 watts. All right, so at 500 watts, and this is really the big challenge, and kind of my resistance to doing anything other than what I've done, is that 500 watts is not going to power a kettle, a toaster oven. It's not even going to come close to powering an air conditioner. So this is something, 500 watts is where if you want power for like your lights, to charge up your electronics, kind of, you know, like lower pole devices, you know, something like this will do that. My big challenge in my van has been, well, how can I power everything off battery? Like I want to be able to plug in that kettle, plug in the toaster, and have it work off battery and not have to have the generator short power. I dropped something, hold on. 24-month limited warranty, lifetime technical support. All right, this is just, oh, and you can even join the Jackery Facebook group. The Facebook group for people who want to talk about power. That sounds right up my alley. So this is the part of when women get something in the mail that we read the instruction manual. Men, you can just maybe fast forward through this. Charge first. Before reading through the manual, you can begin to charge up your Explore. There's a spelling error on this, Jackery. By the way, one of my greatest strengths is pointing out the flaws in other people's flaws. So let's get that addressed, huh, kids? Charging up Explorer 500 by connecting it to a power supply provided and plugging it into a wall socket. All right, so if you're home and building your van, you can plug this into your household. If you're on the road, you're going to have to find somewhere to charge up your Jackery before you use it to charge up other things. The good news is it's not huge. You could probably bring it into the gym. It might look weird if you bring it into a Starbucks and plug it into a wall, but whatever. You're not going to see these people again. Who cares? I walk into Walmart in the morning when I have to go tinkle in my Tinkerbell pajamas and my hair all up and nasty, not having brushed my teeth. It doesn't matter. You're on the road. You live in a car. Who cares? All right. Let's get this done then. Where the hell do I plug this in? Not there. There. Oh, duh. Doing good. I'm not a gadget person. I make no apologies if I look like an idiot while doing this. But I think that is kind of what Jackery has been trying to accomplish. At least what I've noticed on some of their other products is that they're trying to make the most plug and play, easy, even a ginger could do it, to get into the consumer market, because that is going to hasten your speed in getting onto the road dramatically. I mean, I lost almost 2 months just to doing the wiring on my van. If you are just going out on the weekends and you don't want to deal with all that, or you want to be on the road right now, I think that's where these plug and play models will help you the most, is because you're not running cable. It says input. Oh, I'm college educated, but nobody can probably tell. All right, so we got that, and then this I'm not sure where the hell Mike keeps his plugs. There's one over there. Stand by, kids. Jackery is plugged into the wall. It is charging up. It is now at 32%, and I will give them a boatload of credit for putting a meter on the side of this thing. There's a digital meter that tells you how much power you have left. I do not have that in the van with my batteries, and it is a stress-inducing pain in the ass, because you leave things plugged in, or you've been running the fan all night and you have no idea how much more power you have if you need to run the car for a while, if you need to go drive for a while, if you need to plug in the generator. And so you're just always kind of guessing, and probably staying on the severely reserved side, because draining your batteries all the way down is never a good thing. So they have put in a digital meter so that you will always know how much power you have left. I am not sure how long this is going to take to charge up, but we will just let that get nice and comfy here and go through some of the other things, and maybe I'll find some more spelling errors that I can help them out with. It says it has a flashlight. Press button for LED flashlight. Press button. Press button. Oh shit! I'm not sure why you need that, but I guess if you're, I don't know, you know what? You know who's going to need that? I know exactly who's going to need that. I was trying to think, if maybe this isn't the best thing for me, who else could use it? And my first thought was hunters. If you've got how men go and sit in some deer stand and then wait for some poor deer to come across his path to shoot it. If you've got a deer hut or a camping hut, something like this, if you got to trumpet through the woods, now you got a flashlight, and then you can have power out there. So you can take that really, really weird photo where you stand behind a dead turkey's ass and fan out its feathers like you're a turkey gynecologist and put it on social media. So yeah, the flashlight will help you get back into the woods, so you can set up to take that amazing photo that y'all love. I would deer hunt if the deer were given guns and it was actually a fair sport. Or you can charge it with 100-watt solar panels, and that takes 16 hours depending on weather. And that is where I'm so not in love with solar. It takes forever. The great news is that it's passive. You don't have to do anything. You just let the sun, or they'll charge in the shade-ish, but 16 hours depending on weather to charge this up, versus a wall or the car. It's probably going to do it way faster than 16 hours. Here's what Jackery said about the solar attachment to this, where I was finally like, okay. They said, well, it'd be really great to use in severe weather. And that's how she got me. That's how she hooked me. Because a lot of you know that before I was selling my soul on YouTube, I worked in TV news, and the last big live event that I covered was Hurricane Florence. Hurricane Florence was only a 1, but she sat on us for 4 days, and she completely cut Wilmington off from all resources. I was working in the county over. I stayed at the Charlotte Fire Department. I was there for 2 weeks. I was living with a bunch of burly men for 2 weeks. Do you know that firefighters are really particular about the color and location of their individual respective loofahs? I made fun of them for that, and they got me back by wrapping my car in caution tape and then getting me to swear on live TV. I won't go into that whole story, but Hurricane Florence was really rough on me. Not because the wind was too strong, it was because I had to live with 12 men. It was like Snow White and the 12 Idiots. It was ridiculous. I love them, I miss them, I'll see them in a bit. But when Hurricane Florence was hardly my first hurricane, when hurricanes come through, the weather, yeah, is hellacious during the hurricane, but it's like, hurricanes are like a toilet for weather. Like, they just flush everything out, and then you usually have amazing weather after. Unfortunately, your power's knocked out, your water's knocked out, you don't have food. I mean, the aftermath is terrible, but it's usually perfect weather. And that's when I thought, in severe weather, not just use this for hunting, but after the storm, if you had a solar panel and could lay that baby out on the lawn, you would be able to get enough power to work some small wattage devices to get you through until power was restored. And there I can see a major benefit of this kinds of setup. You know, I'm still mounting things to the top of the van, parking the van in direct sunlight when it's 95 degrees just so I can get enough power to cool the thing down later. That I still really struggle with, the idea of using it in a van. But other applications, yeah. And you know what? Maybe there are some van folks who are not going to be powering all the stuff that I am because they're not going out for 6 months. They're going out for maybe a weekend. And so I can appreciate that, that something of this setup would probably be beneficial for other people. So now we are up to a whopping 35%. This is going to take a long time, but while we're doing that, let's open the solar panel, since I know you all will find a great amount of irony in the fact that the woman who talks so much shade about solar is now about to open one and use it anywhere near the van. So in this enormous box is a smaller box. Come here. Get. Oh gosh. Jackery Solar Saga 100. Output 100 watts. How the hell do we open this? It's like a pizza box. I know how to open a pizza box. What in the hell? Oh my God, how do you open it? Oh, there are buttons. There, oh, okay. All right, I got you. All right, so these are the briefcase, I think that's what they're called, the briefcase models of solar panels, because, haha, folds up like a briefcase. So the briefcase panels, what is good about these is that if I don't want to park my van out in the sun to bake the top of the van. No. But this, you can move these elsewhere. So you can park the van in the shade, in the cool, and then put these out in the sun elsewhere. The downside of that is you have to babysit your solar panels because people will steal anything. A crack addict will steal anything. It would be kind of weird watching a crack addict run down the street holding a solar panel like this, but I can see it happening in some places. Where are we at? 36%. Woohoo! By next week we will be charged. Danger warning caution. Let's skip over that. I don't know that we need to use all that. Do not pierce them with a hammer. When you see stuff like this, it means that some dipshit has actually tried doing that. I don't know. Oh. Using my noggin. We got this, and then this will attach into the battery, and that is how you plug it in to power up the battery. All right, we are only at 36% power, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to charge this up on the wall because that is what the directions that had a spelling error on them said to do. Then I'm going to plug everything I can find into it to drain it back down, and then we will plug the solar panel in, and I'm going to throw it in the sunshine and see how long that takes, and I'll put it in the van to show you how much space it takes up, and then y'all can decide if this is something that will actually benefit you and your setup. I am still waiting for a miracle, and my miracle is called a battery this big that will run an air conditioner. But, as they say, with God, all things are possible. I'll see you in a second. Right now, it's been a couple hours, and it's at 99%. I really do like this digital display that lets you know how much power you have. So, I'm just going to plug in my cell phone just to make sure that it works, which I'm sure it will. But one of the questions that I have for Jackery, which I'm going to send them an email and ask, so that hopefully I can update it tomorrow, is, one reason that I bought the Honda generator is because if it breaks, I can go into any Honda and have it serviced. And I liked that there was a brick and mortar, no matter where I was in the US, where I could get it fixed if it stopped working. Or if I opened it up and it didn't work, I didn't have to ship back something that was this heavy. So my big question to them is, if I get their device in the mail and it's not working, do I have to pay, because it's heavy, do I have to pay for shipping back? And, if I'm on the road, like, where are you going to send that back? So I finally got it all the way up to 100%. So this baby is all charged up. But that's not the real challenge. Like, we know that if we plug batteries into a house, that we will have power. So the real challenge is when you're on the road, powering this baby up. So now that the battery is charged and ready to go, I'm going to plug the fan that blew the inverter. I'm going to plug the fan in. Stand by. So you can hear a little bit of sound when the battery juices up, but otherwise it's not making any noise. Fans go in, and what else can I put in here? I'm going to charge my cell phone in the USB, wherever the hell I put that. So we'll charge up the phone, and what else do I have that I'll charge the GoPro, and I don't really have anything that's 12 volt besides the fridge, but I think that might send it over the edge. So I'll just load up the USBs, run the fan all night long on the highest speed possible, and we'll see from 100% at night to when I wake up in the morning what we're looking at. And then at that point, I'm going to throw the solar panel out and see if in one daytime span I can get it back up to 100. Good morning. So after, model hair. After running the fan all night long and the GoPro and charging my cell phone, we are down to 22% on the battery. 22, you see it? 22%.
So, not too shabby. I still just really want something that's going to charge this up. But 5 to 6 hours just to get this thing to 100%, and then 7 hours drain down to about, a quarter of its span. So I'm not sure if that's gonna work for y'all, but it's what we're looking at. 16% battery. All right, we're about 5 hours later. So in 5 hours, when I plugged it into the house, it fully charged. 5-ish hours. It's been baking out in the sun, and we are at 45%. So she's slow. When I plugged it in, it was like 20%. And in 5 hours, we've gone up to 45. And so the big challenge there, if you're in a house and you can throw this in your backyard all day long, fine. But if you're on the road in a van, where are you gonna leave that for 5+ hours to charge it up? So we'll just see. We'll let it totally bake all day long, and then say more profound things about this thing called solar a little bit later. Back in the van, the battery was sitting out in the sun for, I'd say, 9 to 10 hours. I did not sit on it like a hen and wait for it to hatch and watch its every move. But right now we are at, after 9 to 10 hours, and to be fair, there was a rain shower at one point. I had to bring it under the garage. We are at, can you see it? 52%. So 9 to 10 hours, 52% charge. They did say on the paperwork that it can take 16 hours with the solar panels. So not fast, not fast. What I'm gonna try to do tomorrow is, so I'm gonna drain this tonight again, just like I did, although by the time I wake up, it will probably be totally dead. And then when I start driving tomorrow, I'm going to use the cigarette lighter option, see how long it takes to charge with the cigarette lighter, and then we will have all the answers to the universe about how long it takes to charge a Jackery. Day 3 of the Jackery. Alright, so as you saw, I put the solar panel on. I do think that solar panel, it's a 100-watt solar panel, I do think it's too small to charge this baby at any rate of impressive speed. So when I put it in the van, it was like halfway charged after sitting out in the sun all day. And then I plugged my laptop into it overnight, and in the morning, it was completely dead. She dead. No energy. So for our final test, I'm going to use the car charger, the 12 volt, and as I'm driving around today, see how long it takes to get this baby juiced up using the vehicle. Someone who knows more about solar than I do, and God knows, just check the comment section, all the solar evangelists have got to be in there by now telling me I'm the worst person in the world because I don't worship the ground that panels were made on. But I was thinking, to answer my own question about where you could put the panel if you were doing this in a van, is what if you just prop it up like that? Just put it all day long. I don't know if the tint on this will screw with that, but that would be great because then it's also partially blocking the unrelenting heat coming into this van. But that could be one idea. Whoever has panels and uses them, hopefully y'all will share some suggestions about keeping the panels safe and getting the most sunlight, but also not sitting there and watching them like watching a pot boil water. So we've got our dead Jackery, and I'm going to plug this baby in up here in the ProMasters. You've got a 12 volt plug here. I added one in the back, but the fridge, the truck fridge, is connected to that, and I don't want to mess with that. So we're going to be driving around all day long. Why is this not working? Oh, Oh, I'm off to a good start. Plug this girl in, and let's see. Do we have a charge? Yes. So she's charging again. It's a girl. It's not a gender neutral battery. And then I did hear back from Jackery about some of the questions that I had. Okay, so the question that I sent to Jackery was, if I get this thing and it's faulty, because there's no Jackery store, do I have to pay to ship something this heavy back to you? And they said that they will send you a shipping label to recall a faulty battery and send a new replacement after confirmation. Okay, so that's interesting. All right, kids, it is almost 8 o'clock. I've been driving around all day. I think I've had about like 3.5 hours of driving. So I'm spent walking around and doing the damn thing. But let's see what we got. So it's been plugged in to the 12 volt. And we are at 48%. So better than the solar panels, not quite as great as a plug. And that should surprise absolutely no one. You plug something into household power, it's going to charge quick. You rely on solar, not so quick. And the 12 volt is doing a pretty decent job. You know, truth be told, doing the electric in your van is the scariest part, the hardest part, and probably the most expensive. And so if you're just not ready to do it, or if you're a weekend warrior and you're only going to go out from, Friday night till Sunday night, then I can see where a plug and play is really going to benefit some people. This will not cover all your power needs in a van long term. To be putting this solar panel out or plugging it in and moving it here and moving it all over, if you're going to go long distances, if you're crazy like me and are going to try 6 months or more, this is not going to do it. But I think it's a great start for people who are getting onto life on the road. It's a cool thing, and I think it's awesome that companies are developing these products. And I think as they progress and figure out more of what we need on our end, I think we're going to see some really, really interesting things come down the line. So thank you, Jackery. And they were kind enough to offer up a 20% off the battery and a 10% off the panel to y'all. And I'm going to put that underneath the video. Sometimes you have to click down a little arrow, and there's like some notes that I write in there. So I'll put the code in there. And if any of you have it, let me know what you think. If there's some other part of this device that you think I, missed or didn't test accurately, just put that in the comment section. And I've got many more miles ahead until I get home, so we can keep trying it out for different stuff. And you can share what's working with you and not with these kind of plug and play setups. So there we go. Thank you, Jackery. I am going to recharge my laptop to edit this video and get some dinner and then go to bed, because I tell you what, at about the 6 month mark, your inner 85-year-old lady starts coming out, and she's like, oh my God, it's 7 o'clock. I gotta be in bed. All right. Let me know what you think and have a good night. I'll talk to y'all later.